After New Hope, the Freedom wasn't just a ship anymore. It was a sanctuary. We weren't a ragged band of mutineers. We were a company. Jax had the awesome and the marauder, but he also had a crew that would follow him into his sun. We started hitting Halloway's tax vaults and payroll junk ships. Not to get rich, though, don't get me wrong, the sea bills were nice. But to bleed him dry, we called it the toll. If you wanted to move blood money through our sector, you had to pay the ghost. Picked up a shimmer in the black, a Steiner stamp freighter with a heavy loaded back. No escort in sight, just a safe inner lane, carrying the profit of a planet's worth of pain. Jax didn't even have to fire a single shot. He just drifted the Freedom right into the spot. This is Captain Krell, his voice came through the wire. Drop your cargo pods or prepare for the fire. I watched the bay doors open, the crates begin to spill, filling up our coffers with the Duke's own bitter pill. We didn't keep the diamonds, we didn't keep the lace. We sent them to the worlds the Duke had tried to erase. I was Magnolia, the accountant of the void, rebuilding all the lives that the hammer had destroyed. I'd sit in the cargo bay, counting out the grain, sending medicine and water through the acid and the rain. The crew was eating steak, the beer was flowing cold, as we laundered every credit of the Duke's stolen gold. Jax walked through the mess hall, clapping every back, while I kept the Freedom on its predatory track. Well, we're collecting that soul on the Starlight Road, lightening the weight of a heavy-hearted load. From the Duke's own pocket to the beggar's empty hand, spreading all the justice across the broken land. My younger self, she was proud of the trade, watching the foundation of a legend being laid. It wasn't just the money, it was the way the people looked when they saw the ghost emblem on the supplies we had took. They didn't see a mercenary, they didn't see a thief. They saw a man who'd suffered and could understand their grief. I saw a tech named Miller sharing bread with a child, and for the first time in years, even Jax Krell smiled. We were a family of outcasts, a brotherhood of grease, carving out a little slice of our own private peace. But I knew the Duke was watching. I knew he had a plan to crush the little woman and the legendary man. Halloway was screaming, his profits in the dirt, realizing that the ghost really truly hurt. He put a 1 billion credit bounty on the Freedom's hull, hoping that the greed would make our senses dull. That you can't buy a crew that's found its own soul, not when they're the ones who are taking the toll. Jax looked at the bounty and he laughed until he cried. I didn't know I was worth that much, he said with such pride. I just checked the lasers and I tuned up the core, preparing for the day the Duke came looking for war. We were the richest broke people in the galaxy. Every vault we cracked, every convoy we boarded, the money went right back out the airlock to the colonies that needed it. We kept just enough to keep the mechs running and the crew fed. We were building a kingdom without a throne, and Jax was the king who wore a grease-stained flight suit. But the honeymoon couldn't last. The Duke stopped sending tax collectors and started sending the big guns. He wanted his hammer back, or he wanted us dead. And that's when I found the Atlas. After New Hope,